I can't. I got Mr. Good Finger in my mouth.
Mr. Good Finger?
Good.
It must be a real good finger in your
What?
man there, boy. Good finger. Wipe your mouth out.
Good Finger, Good Bar, whatever.
Hello and welcome to episode 223 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Batman.
I'm Wish.com Hellboy.
And I am the rejected Teletubby.
Aw.
Hobo.
Time for Teletubby bye-bye.
What was Hobo's song?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Don't touch me.
That's why they didn't take it.
Oh, God.
Oh, that lasted all of like 20 seconds.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
He's got no fans in there, so. Well, yeah, this is our late Halloween-themed episode, so.
Oh, wait. This is Halloween? Were we supposed to dress up?
Yeah. I know, you didn't get the memo.
No, you never tell me these things.
This is his Hellboy day at work.
I was just having a pajama day, you know.
Yeah, it's quite an outfit.
Is this felt? It is now.
It is now.
Our first joke.
Well, I knew you'd like that one, so I have a special treat for everybody, especially for our video listeners or viewers.
Yeah, sure. It's all the same.
For the first time live on YouTube, I'm going to put my sack on Josh's table.
All right.
That's my contribution.
Very good.
My check in the mail. Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say,
yes.
why is Bill the only one allowed to use the cricket machine on me, but I don't have it to use on him?
I tried looking for it before we started, and I can't find it. I was going to bring it back. We haven't had that forever. We got some candy. A little fist bump from Hellboy. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mask here. So, first off, I guess during the Halloween festivities, we had a cool little switcheroo happen with, was it Charlie Cox and Tom Hiddleston?
Yeah.
They dressed up as each other, Loki and Daredevil. So, yeah, Tom Hiddleston's he's got a great jawline in that costume he had for Daredevil. I was like, shit. I know he did a tryout for Thor back in the day. I don't know if you ever saw that video.
I never did.
The screen test, but he's very scrawny Thor, though. It didn't work.
As pretty as he is, he does have a great face for a mask.
Yes.
So
yes.
I haven't seen what you're talking about, but I could see that he'd pull it off very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'm like, wow, they should have cast him as a masked person.
Yeah.
What masked person would he play?
Well, I don't know.
Solo.
I mean, he is the finest of superhero.
He is.
That's a callback to a future episode of Number One Comics.
Is it possible to do a callback to a unreleased?
I don't know. How does that work?
Episode? What do you call it? Foreshadowing?
This whole thing
it's
exists in a
foreshadowing.
time loop. Nothing is real. You're dreaming. Wake up.
Yes. Wake up. It's not really Halloween, but yeah, I saw a lot of celebs dress up that were really cool. I don't know if you saw the Heidi Klum one. She was E.T.
Yeah, that was creepy.
It was. Her eyes were like through the neck.
God.
Once I saw where the face was, that's what creeped me out.
Yeah.
When I thought like
But it
her head
overall
was in
was-
E.T.'s head, I was okay with it. But when I saw the face in the neck, I didn't like that. It scared me.
Right. Yeah. And I guess it was her and her partner. They both dressed as E.T. or maybe one was something else. I don't know. I mean, same.
She was E.T.
Alien.
and then her partner was Mac.
Oh, was that right?
No, I don't know.
Oh, God, because I was like, oh, how did I miss that? Where's Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd was Mac.
So, yeah, we're going to get a little sad before we get a little happy, or we'll see. Got a couple of tributes. Big one, of course, Quincy Jones passed away. He's 91. He was a producer and composer. His love for music began back in high school, and he later conducted and arranged Frank Sinatra's orchestra. Fly Me to the Moon is one of the,
Yep.
I guess, the ones he was heavily featured on in his film credits. In Cold Blood, I still need to see that. It's got Robert Blake in it. It's based off a true story. Philip Seymour Hoffman played Capote.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what that he wrote. Yeah, Capote wrote
the book in True Blood.
Yes, and he also did the themes for In the Heat of the Night. Not the TV show, a movie.
Was the movie though? The movie though was the TV show, wasn't it?
No, the movie was before. It was
right. No, but it was the same thing. It was like
it was like basically a sequel to the movie.
Okay, yeah.
But obviously different cast. This was Heat of the Night was late 60s, I think. It was so weird as a kid because I would watch In the Heat of the Night, and then they would show like. I was over at my great grandmother's house, and she watched AMC, not the theater, but the channel.
The channel.
That still exists, yeah, of course. Very different though. It used to be like American Movie Classics. Anyway, they showed the preview to the original Heat of the Night, and I'm like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah,
and that's a weird show for you to be watching as a kid, in my opinion.
Well, it was part of the. Well, we had like three. Well, if you didn't have cable,
yeah. I suppose I can't judge though because like I was like a Silk Stockings kid.
Well, yeah, I watched Knots Landing with my mom. You don't remember Knots Landing at all?
No, that was before my time.
Whatever. It started late 70s.
I was a Young and the Restless kid.
Oh gosh, yeah. You ever seen any Heat of the Night, the movie?
I saw the movie.
It's good.
I saw the movie once.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Italian Job. It was the original Italian Job. He worked on that. The Wiz. I never did see The Wiz.
The musical.
Yeah, well, it was. It was a movie though, right? Or was it a musical before?
I don't know. I've seen the live show, but I've never seen.
This was the Michael Jackson one, so I think it was a movie, but probably was a lot of singing in it.
I never saw it.
Was it kind of like no? It was a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, wasn't
Correct.
it? Okay. The Color Purple. I've never seen that one. That's a classic. That got remade a couple years back. Then he did the Austin Power theme. Although it belonged to like a different movie. Actually, it was featured in a few movies, even a Woody Allen film before Austin Powers. That's the first time I ever heard of it. But yeah, that was him, and he had that great cameo in the third Austin Powers when they go behind the scenes like they're making the movie. That was really cool to see him do that. But yeah, TV credits: Sanford and Son, Roots, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Produced Michael Jackson's Thriller and Bad album, and then of course he did the big gathering of multiple artists, which is a great documentary on Netflix. When they recorded "We Are the World,"
and he gave us one of the most beautiful things ever, Rashida.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Rashida Jones. Forget. Yep, Parks and Rec fame, and I Love You, Man, and
a little bit in The Office.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, and her mother was. On the Mod Squad, the 70s television show. But yeah, a great documentary.
Not the Claire Danes movie.
No, I saw that in the theater. I wanted to like it. Man, it was basically, was it a Levi's commercial? I mean, they're all decked out in the latest fashions, and that was pretty much what it was. But yeah, that was a letdown, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a great documentary that came out a few years ago about him on Netflix as well. Just a huge career. Not really surprised. I mean, he's 91. That's a long.
He had a
long life,
long good run.
He did.
If I make it to 91, I will be shocked.
I'll be shocked if I make it to 80, but
I'll be shocked if I make it to 60.
We'll still be doing this show. So
yeah.
Remember when?
We won't. We'll just repeat.
Remember Phase 1, Marvel. Terry Garr. I don't know if you guys knew of her much.
Yeah, she was. Well, the only thing I ever remember seeing her in was when she was Phoebe's mom in Friends.
Yep.
In a couple episodes.
Yes.
That's really the only thing I know her from.
Young Frankenstein. She was in that as well.
Which I don't remember her in that. But it's been a while since I've seen her.
She was the love interest, Gene Wilder's character. Yeah. She talked in a Swedish accent, I think, in that movie. But she also appeared on Star Trek, Assignment Earth episode. And I guess she was on the Sonny and Cher show. She was in the movie Oh God and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Was she who was she in that? Was she the mom?
Close Encounters?
Yeah.
No, she was his wife. Like, she was like, "You're going crazy." And he was
Richard Dreyfuss's wife.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. She wasn't the girl later on. They both were able to relate to what happened to them. But yeah, she was the wife, Mr. Mom. That's a classic. She was in Tootsie, Dumb and Dumber. You remember? She was a stepmom to Lauren Hawley's character.
Yeah, no, I don't remember her.
Yeah, it was kind of it was all right part. It wasn't huge, but
must have been like 2 scenes.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was too much. And then this is one of my favorites. Not the greatest movie, but it's just one of those have a good time. But Unaccompanied Minors. It's a Christmas movie. It's about these kids being stranded at an airport, and Lewis Black's in it. He plays like the head of the airport. But yeah, she was in it a few scenes. But that was like basically the last thing she did. She actually was diagnosed with MS back in 1983.
Wow.
And so she suffered a brain aneurysm in 2006. So yeah, she's been pretty retired for quite some time. So yeah, she was 79. So that's crazy. Movies and TV. Days of Thunder sequel is in the works. Early talks.
The movie no one asked for. Yeah, the sequel no one asked for.
Well, you know what? I always viewed it as Top Gun, but with racing. But I guess it was kind of a bomb when it came out.
Yeah, I've seen the movie a couple of times because it's a good one to test like surround sound on.
Oh,
like,
sure, yeah.
The opening
definitely.
of it. That said, it's not my go-to for testing surround sound.
Yeah.
That is still Tombstone.
Oh,
with the horses, like the very opening scene with the horses. Anyway,
hell's coming with me.
That
I'll dress up like that next year.
Days of Thunder was just okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, but they were probably trying to be like Top Gun of racing, right?
Yeah, but Top Gun was better because Top Gun had jets and
right.
And I'm sorry, I don't like I don't like racing. I think it's boring.
Yeah,
I've never been into racing.
I like when it's cut, like in movies, so it like keeps you engaged.
Yeah, but I think there's other movies that have done it better than.
Oh yeah, Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, it's got some memorable parts, like Robert Duvall being in it. Obviously, Tom Cruise and Michael Rooker's characters when they have the rental cars.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's got moments. Yeah. I haven't seen it for a very long time, but I remember Hardee's had the race cars you could get, right? I remember the Mellow Yellow, and I had a couple of those.
Mellow Yellow and the Superflow.
Okay, yeah. That's what I remember about it. But
the cars were cool. That's all I remember of it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Nicole Kidman. I think that's when they first met.
I was going to say, I don't think they were quite dating.
So wait,
by that point,
the Far and Away, did that come after Days of Thunder?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep. So Days of Thunder was directed by Tony Scott, the late Tony Scott. Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson. So I'm assuming Bruckheimer will produce this one. It's will be with Paramount, but Tom Cruise is like I said, this is early talks. Tom Cruise is pretty booked right now. He's got Mission Impossible 8 still happening, and then 2 other films, and I guess there's a potential another Top Gun sequel. So,
wow.
Well, I mean, I would strike while the iron's hot, right? I mean, he's going to get older, and I think what they did with the last Top Gun, if they could get into more of a...
You could do a Top Gun 3 without Tom Cruise.
You could.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean, with the characters that they set up, and I think, with the characters they set up and with, like, Glenn Powell becoming a household name.
Yeah, for sure.
And...
powerhouse, man.
Miles Teller becoming more popular.
Yep.
You could easily do...
Oh, yeah, that's your...
Top Gun 3
or that's your Maverick Goose. Yeah.
You could do that without Tom Cruise easily.
Was it jarring to you, the last Top Gun? I loved it, by the way, but like when they get behind enemy lines, it's basically like behind enemy lines. Like it was weird for
a little bit,
but I still liked it.
So there was there was a little bit of that, but then there was like this nostalgic factor for me, like when they showed the F-14.
That was beautifully done. I thought
came in my pants. And then when it took off, that whole sequence was just amazing.
Right. I loved when he's like, "How do you work this?" Like, it was your dad's department. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
What was that movie? Stealth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stealth.
It was more that than Behind Enemy Lines.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I think Stealth's an underrated movie.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't have any interest in the Days of Thunder 2. I'll wait. If the trailer comes out and it excites me, maybe it'll look really good.
Yeah, I think they can improve on it for sure. Robert Duvall's still with us. I don't know if he would be in it, but I don't know what he could do as a character. He's fucking old, but that was kind of neat though with them building the car and stuff.
He plays like the Val Kilmer role from Top Gun 2, where like they go to him for advice on something. He's like in a scene
and another death scene.
Yeah,
It's like okay, yeah, that was beautifully done because Kilmer did movies before. obviously not probably as big of a budget, but they've dubbed him before. I think Snowman was
one of the worst movies ever made.
But his scenes are jarring because it just does not match.
And it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Did you ever see that one?
I did.
Snowman?
No, Michael Fassbender, right?
Yeah.
He's a great actor. He's been in a lot of shitty ones, though. I mean,
yeah, he needs to learn how to say no.
Probably the money was just too good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to see this. I think they can improve for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Race car movies, they have a history of like probably missing more than hitting. Like I know there's been several of them, you know.
The thing with like Top Gun though, there was that nostalgia factor with it. Like I don't really see that with Days of Thunder.
I don't see it either.
I see some, obviously, but not as much.
2 next or what? Like he comes back and he's making cocktails out of prune juice because he's so fucking old.
He's in a retirement home.
Yeah.
Ladies. Yeah. I don't know. That would be
4 waters on the rocks. I need to take these pills.
You know what would be cool? You probably don't. Have you ever seen Color Money?
Long time ago.
Okay.
It's not one of those ones I repeatedly viewed.
He could make a third one of that because it is a sequel. Paul Newman's character originated in the movie called The Hustler.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So Cruise could be like Paul Newman to like some other dude, but I don't know. And that movie's weird because I like it. From last time I saw it, that's a Scorsese film.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what other Tom Cruise. Obviously, I think people would love to see him as and they've talked about this Tropic Thunder 2. You couldn't make that today though.
So what people were wanting was like they were wanting like a whole movie about
Les
his
Grossman,
character. I don't think you could do a whole Les Grossman movie. I think that would be really annoying really fast.
You could barely do that MTV Awards show he did as Les Grossman. That was kind of just too much.
Whenever you have like a popular character in a movie who like has a few scenes, and you make a movie completely centered on that character, like they did with the Minions. Like they've done with like Scrat from Ice Age. I'm using horrible examples, but
or Riddick from Pitch Black.
Yes,
yeah,
I 100% agree. Yes,
or the Scorpion King.
That was bad.
From The Mummy Returns.
Oh, that was bad.
It doesn't usually work. I agree with you, Bill. It does not usually work. It's usually not very good.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more. Hey, Josh.
Yo.
Why don't witches wear panties?
Because they know I'm hanging out.
Why?
So they can get a better grip on their brooms.
Oh God, the sound effect.
I'm trying to think of an instance where the side character with their own movie was better.
Oh, it's been done. I can't. I'm trying to think.
I know it's probably been done. I just can't think of an example of it right off the top of my head.
God, I can't either.
Creed. That's kind of
didn't exist at all.
I still have never seen a Rocky movie, so I couldn't tell you.
That's kind of obscure though, because he wasn't really like a side character.
Yeah, shit. It'll come to me later.
I know I'm gonna get shit from all the 5-year-olds and Facebook moms for saying that Minions sucks, but I'm so sick of that fucking franchise.
I have never seen a Minions movie. I've seen the Despicable Me movies, but I've never seen a Minions movie.
Yeah, they made 2 Minion movies, I think, right? 2 mini movies.
Too many of them.
That's another joke.
I think they've got like 3 out now.
They're up to Despicable Me 4. I know for sure they had the 1 Minions movie.
Yeah. Well, all they can do in the new Despicable Me movies is like mutate them.
Because there was the rise of Gru.
Oh, yeah.
When he was a fucking kid.
You know way too much about these movies.
I have kids. Man.
Well, to be fair, though, like if you had to watch anything with your kids, that's one of the ones I could sit through. Like
my daughter was a huge fan of like she watched. Oh my God, she watched the Minions so many.
So for my kids, my daughter, it was Elmo and Grouchland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which the only saving grace of that was Mandy Patinkin as the villain. And then I'm trying to think what my son was watching all the time.
Buccaneers. Tina Fey was in that. It was Pirates themed.
No,
that's some good shows.
See, I'm pretty sure I saw an article once on Facebook that said that there's a Facebook account or a Netflix account out there where somebody has watched the B movie 87 times. I'm pretty sure that was mine. Because my daughter watched that movie.
That was my kids, and now I can't wear a fucking striped rugby without my kids calling me Barry B. Benson. And then they're always like, say the line. I'm like, you like jazz?
Oh my god!
And I've never even seen the movie. They just make me say that all the time.
What is the deal?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
That was supposed to be a big film, but yeah. Everyone chime in the comments. What side of characters
had their own movie and it
as
was
good or more?
Good as,
yeah,
you know what?
It's been done.
Original.
You know what? I know who would be perfect to make an episode of that on his podcast. Raven and Xavier.
Okay, yeah, Raven.
Make it, Ravex. Do it.
Get to work right now.
You know way more about movies than I do. You've recommended some on your podcast that I never knew about. That I went and watched on like Amazon and Freevee and stuff like that were amazing.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
if anybody knows anything about it, you probably do.
Yes. Yes. He is a Renaissance man. He's done it all. Yeah. Theme songs, music, pop culture. Jack Ryan, guys, we're getting finally a film. Except it's going to be on Amazon.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
I can't shit on direct to streaming movies anymore because some of them are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
like, some have that cheapness look to them as well.
Yeah, you've got that, but then you've got like The Extraction.
I still haven't seen that. Have they made 2 of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're both really good.
Good. I gotta check them out.
So I can't shit on those.
I mean, hey, I have not seen the show. I've heard it's great.
The show is really good.
Okay, yeah. It's been on since 2018. Well, actually, it was 2018 to 2023. And so instead of doing another season, they're doing this film, I believe.
Yeah.
So
and it's going to be the same cast from the show, which is great because the guy that plays Greer, he was also in The Wire. His name escapes me right now.
Oh, Wendell Pierce.
Yes. Thank you. He's fantastic.
He is great.
John Krasinski's great.
He's our new Perry White, actually. Wendell Pierce in the Superman, which is supposed to get a trailer, I think, next month.
Oh, yeah. I think I knew that. Yep. That's very cool. So yeah, I'm stoked for that.
I need to see it. It's just there's so many shows I just haven't jumped on, and I want to.
There's a lot I start and then like I just fall off of it for whatever reason. And I got to get back on it. So
I just think it's probably one of those like I kind of want to just go all in, and I don't have the time to do that. You know, it's like I don't know, like. I think
one of my problems is what we do is my wife and I will start watching a show together.
Yeah.
And then something will happen where I'm doing something and then she goes on without me and then I never go back and finish it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. What Jack Ryan had 3 seasons.
Yes.
And I know I've seen the first 2. I think I started the 3rd one.
Sure.
I need to go back and finish it because it is a good show.
For the movie. Yeah.
And I think Krasinski's a good Jack Ryan. Like I said, he's no Baldwin.
No,
but he's a good Jack Ryan.
Right.
He's definitely better than Affleck. And I think he's probably better than... I liked Harrison Ford, but I think he might be better.
What about Chris Pine? You forgot about him.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
Chris Pine.
And I don't mind Chris Pine.
I don't either.
But I liked him as Captain Kirk.
It wasn't his fault. I think it was just the movie. It's just, it wasn't...
I liked him as Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
But I liked him in that other one too, the...
Dungeons and Dragons.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
And I did like him in that. No, the one where him and his brother robbed the banks.
Oh shit! Oh, I never seen that one, but I know you're talking
Hell
about.
or High Water.
Okay, I've heard that's really good. Yeah, yeah. This will be obviously on Amazon. MGM is making it. They're basically the same company now, but yep. The series EP, Andrew Bernstein will direct it. So I better catch up on the series.
Did it say when is that coming out? When's Jack Ryan coming out?
It did not say.
No.
I imagined shortly. I mean, I think they still need to film it, obviously, because Wendell Pierce probably just got done with Superman. Yeah. So I think he'll be a great Perry White. I actually liked Lawrence Fishburne too. Did you like him as Perry White?
So here's what's funny. I actually saw Superman Returns. And I saw Batman v Superman recently.
Yeah.
Because I know for the longest time I said I'd never watched that movie. And it was like a week ago I sat down and actually watched it. Mm-hmm. And it took me like 3 nights to do it because I kept falling asleep. But because is Lawrence Fishburne in both of those?
He's in Man of Steel, BVS, and
I still have not seen the Justice
League. That's it, actually.
I still have not seen Justice League yet.
Yes. See the Snyder Cut, though. And it's in chapters, so you can stop.
I did not hate Batman v Superman as much as I thought I was going to.
Did you watch the director's cut version or the...
I don't know. Whatever's on Max.
Well, it's still... Okay, yeah. I think they have both, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's still...
Whichever one's like 2.5 hours long. Why did the snowman suddenly smile?
I think he wrote these jokes. Why?
He could see the snowblower coming.
Oh, man.
I think we talked about this last time. You know, that to me was a movie that got shit on too much. Like, it was, I went and saw it and my hype was diminished, but I still liked it.
Yeah, I think the one thing I did not like is I think that Jesse Eisenberg was really miscast.
Yeah, I agree. I don't.
That was the worst part of that movie to me. I like Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Ben Affleck as Batman. No. He's still not my favorite Batman. But he was good. But Lex Luthor was just so miscast.
Yeah, well, and it didn't make sense. Like, why did they shave his head at the end? Were they going to, like, shock treat him? Or, it's like, it felt like we took all this time to get there. Like, why?
He had lice.
Oh, is that why?
No, I don't know.
Oh. Well... Okay, did they show the scene where he was in the goo with Steppenwolf?
Zod.
Yes, but the director's cut, they actually, when the cops come get him, he's in that liquid pool thing. And that's how they arrest him. And you see Steppenwolf and he vanishes. Like, it's one of those projections that like Kryptonian technology does.
Okay. I don't. If they did, I missed that.
Yeah.
But
it was very quirky. Like,
by the end of it, I was sort of half paying attention.
Yeah. That was the weakest part. And then the whole getting them to set up. And the other thing that was weird was Superman didn't need to get on the ground and go through all that shit. Like, he could just hover above and then use his voice like, hey, I'm here to help get my mom. I don't think they had to go through all that shit. But yeah, it's got its ups and downs.
So, and yes, I did like Lawrence. Lawrence Fishburne is always good.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job.
Doesn't matter what he's doing.
Superman Returns. Okay, so did you like Frank, I don't know how you say his last name. He was,
Langella?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Did you like him as Perry White?
Yes, I did. But again, I like Frank Langella in anything he does, like Masters of the Universe.
Right. Do you know who was going to be Perry White in that film? I think it would have been great, and I think it was scheduling conflicts.
I don't. Who was
Hugh Laurie.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I think he would have really mimicked the other Perry White from the Reeves films.
He was probably knee deep in house money at that point, though.
Probably.
Wasn't he?
Yeah. He would have been great, though. But yeah, we only would have got him for one movie, probably.
Which is weird that he would take time out to do Flight of the Phoenix. But not Superman Returns, which I think would be a bigger, more
Stuart Little too.
Stuart Little too.
No, that's probably
that was
pre-House.
Yeah.
Right.
He also is an author and has had written a spy novel a few years back.
No shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I highly recommend it.
What's it called?
I have it. Oh man, the name. I'll have to look
put it on the spot.
The name's escaping me right now.
This next piece I'm excited about. So Scary Movie is going to get rebooted.
Yeah.
The Wayans are back.
I really hope because the other Scary Movies did such a good job as like pushing the envelope of like what's acceptable by, today's cultural standards.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really hope that they continue to push that boundary and they don't water it down.
Yeah. I do. I feel like definitely the ones they had a part of were a lot more raunchy.
Yes.
They were rated R though, I think too.
They were.
The other ones
when
were
you get
not.
to what's 4 and I think is 4 the one with the War of the Worlds parody. But that one was one of my favorites. I thought that movie was
they made 5 total. Oops, sorry. 5 total. I can't remember aliens were definitely a plot for one of them. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I think they could definitely bring back everybody because they did that in the second one. There was a couple people that died and they came right back and they didn't even talk about it. Were they even different characters? Or no, they weren't. They weren't.
No, they were the same character. Marlon Wayans played the same character.
Oh my God. Oh God. The freaking what's his face?
Chris Elliott as the butler.
God.
Was classic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take my strong hand.
And he just decides to fall.
How about I give you a standing ovation?
Allow me to walk away. Walk away.
Yeah, man, that was great. But yeah, they've been gone for 18 years. And so, yeah, Marlon, Sean, and Keenan Ivory Wayans developed the first 5 films total. They grossed almost $900 million. And then, yeah, this reboot was announced at CinemaCon.
I wonder if they got paid for the other ones that they were not a part of.
No, they actually got really... Marlon Wayans was... I don't know if you've seen... we talked about that Cat Williams. I don't know if you were on that episode.
No,
Shannon Sharp.
You talked about that interview, yeah.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans sat down with him and talked about... basically, they were going to get paid less for the third one. And so they basically just see the Weinsteins basically fucked them over. Not literally. Well, I hope not. But
that wouldn't have surprised me either.
It was mostly Bob Weinstein, Harvey's brother. So, yeah, they got really shitty deal.
That's too bad.
Yeah. So that's what happened with that. And but yeah, I've been wanting them to come back forever. I mean, there's so much they could do. They could totally copy Scream, how Scream came back and kind of reinvented itself.
You've got so many horror movies since.
Yeah, it'll be a bunch of things, of course.
I mean, there's so many things they can riff on.
Oh, so many things. Well, Marlon, he did a Haunted House, a couple of those films. Those were pretty good.
Which films? What are you talking about?
Marlon Wayans, I don't know if he directed them, but he was in Haunted House. It basically was a parody of the Parallel Activity.
Oh, okay. Films. I never saw those. I never even heard of those.
2 of them. But yeah, he's
like Paranormal Activity or something.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it was something like that. But I mean,
the good thing about it is too, I don't see the Wayans being like, "Well, we got to tone this down."
No,
we don't want to offend.
They'll push it.
Yeah,
I don't see them doing anything.
Yeah,
and what's nice too is they're not like. I mean, I don't mean this as a slight. I actually think this is a good thing. Is it's not like they're at the top of their careers to where they're putting themselves at risk. Like they can get away with riskier stuff because they're relatively...
It's like they're not going to get canceled from a Disney Plus
they're relatively obscure. And again, I don't mean that as a slight. I think that can be good, especially in a situation like this.
Yeah. So. Well, gosh, I mean, a lot of people have been wanting them to do White Chicks too, which, I don't know if you could do that. But, I mean, Little Man, that was funny.
Little Man was pretty funny.
But I'm just excited for them to get back to work because I don't think Sean's done much for a while. And Keenan Ivory, I don't know what he's done. I know Damon, who didn't have anything to do with this franchise, as far as I know, he's got a show with his son now. Yep. And I saw the first episode. It was pretty funny. Hope that's successful. But yeah, I love to see all of them back.
I haven't seen Marlon since G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
Yeah, I mean he's been around, but yeah, that was an odd cast. I don't know. I didn't totally hate him in that film.
Yeah. You know what movie I used to watch all the time as a kid?
There'll Be a Menace?
No.
Oh.
A Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yep, Keenan Ivory.
Yeah. Yep. And young Jada Pinkett.
Yep. I haven't seen that for a long
really annoying
time.
Jada Pinkett now that I think about it. She was obnoxious in that movie. But I love that movie nonetheless.
She's always that way, though, is she?
No, she wasn't in that. What was that? Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Collateral.
Oh, that's right.
She was fine in that.
Collateral.
That was a good film. Yeah. Nutty Professor. She's pretty good in that.
She went through a phase of playing really just annoying female characters.
Yeah. It was the 90s, and it was like, because she did Woo and
now she's playing a annoying female housewife.
She's really good at it.
I think she's been typecast.
Miramax, Paramount are putting this movie out. I don't know if it's going to be like a multi-picture deal, but we'll see. It's going to shoot next year, and it'll have a theatrical release. So I'm excited. That's just for show. I put all the candy there.
Did they have any involvement in like superhero movie or?
No, I don't think so.
Is that the Wayans?
Yeah.
No, I doubt it. I think it was just 1 and 2, and basically they had people kind of copy what they did. I think the Zuckers took over the Scary Movie franchise, who did Naked Gun, Top Secret, and some other.
Not another teen movie.
Not another teen movie. I did see that one. Disaster movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one. Anyway.
Yeah, they made.
I'm excited to see them back, and like Jonah said, they've got just so much material.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been at least 9 more Saw movies that have come out since they last touched the Scary Movie franchise.
That's true.
There's like Terrifier, Smile.
Right. Well, and the beauty is they don't have to honor the ones that came after them. They don't have to even talk about them. They don't have to address them because every movie was like a free start, pretty much, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they just picked up like a while later, but I'm excited. Yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
If it doesn't have Anna Faris, I'm going to be a little mad.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be in it. Yeah. She's not like totally booked, so I think it's a great comeback for all of them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Jumanji 3, it just got announced. It's December 11th, 2026 is what they're aiming for. So same creative team and stars, and it's I guess they're waiting to further develop it after Red 1 comes out.
Are they waiting to see if Red 1 makes money?
I think it's scheduling, basically.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't look good to me.
It looks terrible.
Yeah, it really does.
The first time I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of interesting," and then I saw the trailer a bunch more, and I was like, "No, it's not good."
Yeah,
the best way that, and I listen to a lot of YouTube at work while I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, same.
The best way to get me to not want to go see your movie is to make that every fucking ad. And it's just I have the damn trailer memorized by this point.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
It just
it
doesn't look appealing.
When they were making it, I was like, oh, this could be really cool. Like J.K. Simmons, they had a still of him like working out, like with The Rock spotting him. And I was like, this could be cool, but it just looks cheesy. I don't know.
Say this for as old
tacky
as J.K. Simmons is.
Yeah.
Like the pictures of him like working, like not in the trailer, but like just in general.
Yeah.
He's friggin' jacked.
He is. He is.
Hey, what's up, Field of Geeks Network? It's Wish.com Hellboy, and this is our special Halloween episode. It only makes sense that we bring you another awesome drink recipe. I can't say that it's awesome. I've never tried this drink before, but we're going to do a little experimentation night, and we are using Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. I picked up these little bottles of Fireball at a local convenience shop on my way over here tonight. What this is some Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, along with some apple juice, and then a splash of lemon lime soda pop, which I'm using Sprite. And we're going to see how this goes. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some ice and put into our cups. Try not to make a big mess. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Fireball and pour that into the cup. Yeah, that's about good. There we go. And next we're going to add our apple juice. Oh, not too much, just a little bit. There we go. I'd usually measure these out, but this looks about right. And then lastly, splash of Sprite. Oh, we're going to try that again. Whew. That was close. Little splash of Sprite. We're going to mix these together here. Again, I've never made this before. Just an experiment. We'll see how it goes. It's really good. That's good. It is really good. If I was to make a comment, the Fireball is overpowering. Well, you just get a lot more cinnamon than you do the apple juice or anything else, but it's not bad. Warms you up, so it's a perfect chilly fall night drink. I might have to play around with the amounts. Hellboy approves. This is called... Cheers. Happy holidays, guys. Stay safe out there. Remember, enjoy your drinks responsibly.
All right, so next topic. Marvel Studios look ahead footage was released. This basically showcased just television animation, no movies in this one. Daredevil Born Again, we've talked about that before. Looks great.
Yeah, I just wanted to come out already.
Yeah, well, they've shot it twice.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Great scene, though, with him and Kingpin sitting in a like diner. Like, they kind of like they had a laugh to each other. That was weird, but I'm sure it'll make sense. But then you got a glimpse of Frank Castle. Not in his gear, I don't think. But, yeah, it looks great. That's coming out in March 2025, obviously. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, this new animated show. Looks good. Kind of, well, not the same as Into the Spider-Verse, but it's got that type of animation where it kind of, it's choppy. Is that
right? Yeah. This is where he still has the homemade suit.
Yes. Yes.
Does it look kind of like the new Ninja Turtles animation a little bit?
Maybe.
It's like it skips every other frame.
Yeah, I think, or it might be more of like the What If animation. I think, but the lighting and the colors, it looks different, obviously, but it looks pretty cool. A very 3D type of feel to it. It's probably all computer animated, I'm guessing, but so that looks good. That comes out in January. Ironheart, which I did not enjoy too well from Wakanda Forever. I thought she was annoying, and I didn't like her armored suit at the end. It was very weird, but
I did not like Wakanda Forever at all.
Yeah. And
I do not like Ironheart.
Do you think, getting off the Ironheart lane for a second, do you think they should have just recasted and that would have helped the film more instead of just going to all that? He died and then they got to do that shit. Launch the coffin into the ship. That was weird, but
I think I would have probably rather see a throwaway villain like Killmonger take up the mantle of the new Black Panther.
Oh, like they bring him back?
Like bringing back Michael B. Jordan and have him be the new Black Panther.
Yeah, you think he'd be better dude in the afterlife, but man, he was just as bad.
Yeah. And
no redeeming qualities.
And with Ironheart, she's the one. She's the places Tony Stark basically.
Yeah, and she built like everything out of like scrap. Like, come on.
So they did this all in the comics too, and they do this where they replace.
Yeah.
They replace the main character with a new character, typically a female.
Yeah.
They did it with Thor, where you had.
Lady Thor.
Lady
whatever.
Thor.
Jane.
Natalie Portman. Yeah, Jane. Natalie Portman's character had replaced Thor for a time. You had, Ironheart. You've got all these other characters. But then what happens is, and it's probably because of this toxic fandom that we'll talk about momentarily.
Yes.
Is they revolt against it, and then they go back to here's Tony Stark. He's
back.
Here's T'Challa, and so I'm not excited for this show. It doesn't look appealing to me.
It's probably because
I'm part of that toxic fandom, I guess.
Well, no, but I think I think it's so easy to like label people that way, especially saying like, oh, you just don't want a woman or whatever. It's it's all about writing.
It has nothing to do with that. There's a lot of women characters that I really, really like.
Yeah, of course.
And then it's
just lazy, right?
A lot of
them are played by Brie Larson. Yeah. No, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your thought there.
No. She looks bored all the time, but
I don't know what happened to her, but she seemed like such a great choice, and I really dug her. I thought she was a nice personality and stuff, and then overnight, it's like, I don't know if she got possessed, but all of a sudden she was just like this different person or represented differently. It was just weird, and she has not recovered from it, but I just it's like you got to make the characters interesting, like just not a carbon copy. I mean, I know they gave Riri Williams, right? They gave her a background, but I also didn't like how she disrespected what's her face, the main guard, the Wakanda. Yes, I'm like, that's not how you're gonna win me over for this character. No. Like, it's like this is shit.
We don't need another instance of the infamous tech wipe.
Oh,
when you're taking off, putting on the mask,
right? Yes.
If they do it, at least like make it, like a sectioned,
right? Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking they've moved away from that. I hope. I know Ironheart. It does look really cool. It looks promising. Like it looks more grounded, more believable with the effects. It's very reminiscent to Iron Man, the first one.
Yeah,
which is good and bad because it's like you're just copied Iron Man, but she's discovering things, and the suit, the new armor looks more like Stark's. Like it could be related versus that thing at the end of Wakanda Forever was like so like alien
Well,
to
that was like
whole.
Yeah, they fabricated that with Wakanda technology.
Right,
So,
right.
of course, it's not going to look like.
Which
Tony
makes
Stark, so I
sense.
could-
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I could
I
see
would.
happening is like her maybe getting a hold of like maybe working with like Happy.
That'd be
And
cool.
getting like a hold of
Yeah.
like, one of Tony's fabricators or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be more interested in seeing Pepper Potts as Rescue
Oh, sure.
in her own series than
Yeah.
Ironheart.
Right. Yeah.
We really don't need Gwyneth Paltrow back though.
She's like pushing 60 anyway, so I guess
she can
Downey
sell
is
her
too,
goop.
though.
Leave Goopy Pants alone.
Yeah, man.
Pants.
Yeah. I love her work, but not that work. That's, yeah. Like,
Nope. They did have some other cool stuff though. I'm very excited for.
sure.
What If? I always think the What If ones are really good. Marvel Zombies.
Is,
I'm looking forward to that.
is Zombies new or is it existed?
They did a Marvel Zombies.
Or was it a What If
That was a What If.
episode?
That
Yeah,
was
okay.
a What If,
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of a fan of the Marvel Zombies comic book runs.
Man, remember that thing lasted forever. And when it was hot, it was hot.
Yeah,
That artist, Arthur Sudam, whatever his name is. Dude, I remember being at conventions and he was like jam-packed with like a line of people.
Wow.
And then the fad, like any of those comic fads, it died out a little bit, right?
yeah.
But when that thing was going strong, it was on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
would like the only thing with What If with their animation style that bugs me is like everyone has that like rosy cheeked
oh, yeah.
early Disney
Yeah.
princess animation look.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they could kind of move away from that.
It's a little weird.
Like storytelling wise, like
Yeah.
writing wise, it's really good. But like, when I see Mark Ruffalo with big bright red Rudolph nose, it takes me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them every episode like a new animator.
That'd be cool.
I know it's asking a lot, but Disney has fuck you money. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, right.
Bring in the animators from X-Men 97.
They were really,
Because that
really
animation,
good.
maybe it's because I'm a 90s kid, but that animation like really resonated with me
Yeah.
more so than the What If animation does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really well done. Yeah, and don't hold your breath for the season 2 of that. So
Why do you got to break my heart?
Sorry.
What does the horny toad say? Rub it.
So dumb.
Why
are male ghosts attracted to female ghosts?
Because of the boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won. What'd I win? Sorry. Well, you know what? Actually, we'll
especially considering the cliffhanger they left it on, I was like,
but they got rid of the showrunner too, so it could totally
go another season. In fact, give me a whole season that's just Age of Apocalypse.
There you go.
Oh hell yes!
And then the Phoenix Saga. Well, no, they already did the Phoenix Saga. Yeah, never mind. I forget.
You know what? If they never make another adaptation of the Phoenix Saga or the Dark Phoenix,
they ruined
Saga
it for
ever again, animated or live action.
I don't understand. I don't understand why, with all of the stories to pull from, they've done that twice.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been good either time.
It's never been good.
Well, it's rushed too, right? That's the other problem with it. Like, it's a huge arc, right? There's a lot happening, and
it would be like if Fox were to make a new X-Men movie and they adapted the Onslaught Saga into a 2.5-hour movie, it wouldn't work.
No.
It doesn't work with Dark Phoenix because that spanned.
And I agree. You'd have to set it up. I mean, if they'd started setting that story up in like X-Men 1 and then more so in X-Men 2, it would have made a lot more sense.
The 2 setup was great, I thought. When they go over the lake and you just kind of see it, and then that's it. And it's like, oh shit,
that's all you got.
Go.
And the third one, and I'm actually surprised that they didn't. When Brett Ratner came on, that he didn't abolish that whole thing and kind of go his own.
He could, he probably did. Yeah, it definitely was a step down for sure. But yeah, that's something that is sadly, it's going to have to be quite some time before they tackle that, and when they do, it probably is worth maybe 2 to 3 films worth.
Yeah. Well, and
perhaps.
considering how well they did with, because I really thought First Class was really good.
Yeah.
Days of Future Past was really good.
Yeah.
Even
X-Men 2
Apocalypse wasn't terrible. Like, I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But then they just shat the bed with that last one.
Yeah, they did. Phoenix, or because they weren't going to even call it like X-Men. It was just going to be.
It was it was like Dark Phoenix. Or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give it a chance. I mean, it's got definitely some great visuals, but it's just bad when you have a big star to play Mystique when she doesn't want to like dress up as much, and it's like, okay, so she like looks totally different in the last film. It's like, what the hell's going on? I don't know, but Eyes of Wakanda they're doing, that's animated, and Wonder Man, I've heard great things about it. I'm not familiar with the character.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a douchebag Hollywood actor with ionic powers.
He's playing Wonder Man, right?
Tigra, I think.
Is he kind of like? I'm not comparing like power set, anything like that, but would you kind of like say he's like Marvel's Booster Gold in a way? Just from like the attitude and like the cockiness and douchiness.
Maybe more Guy Gardner attitude and cockiness than Booster Gold.
I would say Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
I would say Guy Gardner.
But yeah, I mean, he's a tertiary character at best that I'm not really surprised that he's getting his own anything.
I just remember him from like a random West Coast Avengers annual that the only reason I bought it was because Darkhawk was on the cover.
Yeah. I think the best thing that Wonder Man ever did was like die a couple of times.
Deadpool Wolverine, guys. We've obviously seen this film and love it.
I've seen it like 4 times now.
It's coming out this month on the 12th, Disney Plus. So I still want to buy it though.
I bought it. I overpaid for it, but I didn't care.
Just digital copy?
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't. Is it physical?
No, I just got it. I don't buy physical.
There's some nice steel books out there. I know you can get.
I did recently. I'm not going to say what it was that I bought on recording, because my daughter might hear it and it would spoil the surprise. But I did recently buy something in a steel book that I found, and I was very glad that I found it. But that's another thing I would do with Deadpool Wolverine when it comes out.
Steel book it.
If I get like a steel book.
Yeah.
Physical release, something like that.
Nice.
I'm trying to not rely on streaming anymore.
It's just so convenient for me to like
I know,
sit down and buy
I totally get it. Yeah.
Especially I'll wait till a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'll maybe but
that's what I'm doing is I just buy it on iTunes or whatever, and sometimes I'll wait till it goes on sale.
Yeah.
There's movies I bought that I haven't fucking watched.
Yeah.
Like I just buy it because it's like cheap, and then I'm like, I'll watch it. I bought Dick Tracy for $5 and I was like, I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah.
So
it's just that balance, as long as you have people who still want to like collect. I just hope that stays alive much longer.
Yeah, and I think that there's always going to be those people that don't trust the streaming, because there's things that I bought on streaming that are gone.
Right, because the services lose rights to have those films.
The original Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
Oh God!
And then that was taken off.
Yeah,
so I don't have that anymore. Now I still have that on DVD.
Yeah.
And then I also bought True Lies.
Yeah.
A few years back, that was taken off.
Right, because they did.
Then they got the rights back and put it back on there, but then I had to buy it again, and I was like, "This is bullshit."
Yes.
Well, and the other
that's
thing
the one thing I do not like about the iTunes digital.
Well, and it comes down to, what if your internet's out and you want to watch a movie? Like, you can do it off your phone, I guess, but that I know there's I do like when I see something like this, like Deadpool Wolverine coming out, it's like, oh fuck, I won't want to buy it right away if I watch it.
Yeah, I had up until I got rid of all of my Blu-rays and DVDs, which was probably about a year ago. I had all the Marvel shit on Blu-ray.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I had probably 600 DVDs, and now I still have a few.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that I know I'm not going to find on streaming anytime soon, like John Woo's Hard Boiled or The Killer. Like, you can't find that on iTunes or not streaming anywhere. So I still have like those kind of obscure DVDs.
I got that. It's a 2-pack I have.
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
Dude, Hard Boiled is one of the best action movies ever made.
Spider-Man Noir, Spider Noir, because they've already probably said Spider-Man Noir too many times. I have Make It New. Prime series.
Yep.
That's starring Nicolas Cage. Brendan Gleeson, which I'm like, sweet. And Jack Houston, he's a great actor. Yeah, so Cage played this part, animated version in Into the Spider-Verse, and I don't know, was he in the follow-up to that? I never did see the sequel Across, right?
I never watched either of those.
No, it's good. Into is definitely, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
he didn't have a speaking role in the second one.
Oh, but okay.
The character was shown.
Yeah.
At the end of it, but yeah.
Right. So yeah, obviously this is it's like an aged Spider-Man, basically, because Cage is like 60 or in 60s. This takes place in the 1930s, New York, and he's the city's only superhero. So
it's a really cool design.
How old is this concept, though?
I first learned about it playing one of the Spider-Man video games. It was like one of the skins you could unlock.
Mm-hmm. Is this like how long ago was this?
It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But what comic? Was it ever comic form?
Wise, it was a bit ago, but
I don't know, because if it had come out, it was probably in a period of time where I was not reading comics, so I totally missed it.
I didn't know about it until Into the Spider-Verse. This character,
all I know is he has a gun and a badass trench coat and a little
right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's images you can see now. He's like on top of a car, and I mean, it's basically just a live action version of what we've seen, but it looks good.
What I would love for it to be like is like those kind of like retro superhero movies, kind of like Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or the Shadow, the Phantom. Make it a little. And with Nicolas Cage, you can make it campy and it won't be weird.
No,
because he's a campy dude anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and he already kind of has that like really. I don't know if he'll do the Spider-Man noir voice from. The Spider-Verse.
Yeah, good.
But that was already kind of a campy voice anyway. It was like that pulp.
Yeah.
Right.
The like 50s pulp voice.
Yes.
Kind of
yeah. Yeah.
I would love to see it look like that. I'd love to see more movies like that. Like, give me more of those.
Yeah.
Those,
kind of like Sin City type deal. Like,
no, I'm talking more like
style, but like,
yeah. I'm wanting more of like those public domain characters.
Oh yeah,
like the Shadow, like the Phantom, that we can get, that you can do pretty much anything with.
It's only a matter of time before they pick up the Shadow again, I imagine.
Just don't make it shitty like the Spirit was.
Oh god, it looked cool, but man, that was
that movie was hard to watch.
Oh dude, yeah, it looked like such a this is gonna be a hit. Nope. I saw it in theater. I was like, this is tough. Yeah, not great. No. Sin City 2 is the same way. I
never saw Sin City 2. I only ever saw the first one.
I don't know how much information has come out about this. Is this a Sony project?
Yes, I believe so, and it's a Prime series. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. I do remember that.
But I'm sure Sony's involved.
Do the Spider Noir, because I don't think Sony can use Spider-Man in a title.
Yeah, it's weird.
Why isn't there a pregnant Barbie doll? Because Ken came in the box.
This next topic gets us into games. Bill, would you to take it away?
We're kind of in a roundabout way getting a new N64 console.
Is that the Switch 2?
No. This has nothing to do with Nintendo. So a company called Analog is making the Analog 3D. It is a console that uses the cartridges and all of the physical hardware you can use all the physical hardware and the cartridges from the N64 on. There is also an option to get one of their controllers, which is wireless through Bluetooth. But all the old N64 shit you've got laying around, you can use it on this.
Man, I don't even know if my N64 stuff works anymore. I haven't plugged an N64 in a long time. I have it. I
just dust it off. It should be fine.
Yeah. Blow into the cartridge.
So this is a company they've made an NES, a Super Nintendo, Genesis, PC engine for playing old games like Doom and stuff like that. It's about $250 price point on it, which I don't think is bad, but you have to buy the controllers separately.
Oh shit!
Like it doesn't come. It doesn't
of course
come
not.
with anything because
It
it's
never
kind of
does. Yeah.
relying on people to supply their own stuff.
Right.
It's going to be so your cartridges and stuff like that you play on this is going to upscale it to 4K via HDMI.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
It's something I'd very much, be interested in using. My whole problem is that Nintendo is one of the most litigious companies in the world. They recently went after Pal World, which is it's kind of like a Pokemon knockoff, but it's like Pokemon with guns. And they kind of like went after this whole company. There's this whole lawsuit going on with this company because, the concept is, monsters that battle for you and you fight them against each other. Apparently they have no problem with Digimon. Because Nintendo's fucking weird. But, so this is looking at like a Q1 2025 release. You don't need like all the little, like mine 64, you had the like memory expansion pack, you had the little controller pack things for like save files, the Rumble pack, which I got with Star Fox 64. I still love that. I still love that game. You don't need any of that with their controllers, but you can still use it with their controllers. If you like the like heft and feel of, having a giant chunky gray nutsack on the bottom of your controller. The only thing is like, if you remember the old like design of the N64 controllers, it kind of looked like a little like half octopus kind of thing.
Yep. Yes.
Had that like weird, you can hold it like this way.
Yeah.
This one looks like a little more like I don't want to say like a PlayStation controller, but like the joysticks you could get for the GameCube.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like you have you have the trigger buttons, your other face buttons, your directional pad, and the analog stick is like up here.
Yeah.
Like in the
corner
or something like that. So it's not like in the middle of the controller. But I think it's a great concept. I'd love to see it. Love to see what it can do.
We'll look forward to an update in January when Bill's like, and it's been canceled because of the C&D.
Canceled because they got hit with a
too good to be true.
Yeah.
Oh. But I mean, this company's been great for game collectors. Another thing that I kind of thought is like, well, why don't you emulate? I'm not. Now I want to put a disclaimer on here. I'm not suggesting that you emulate games because it is illegal. But I'm not saying I do it. But the problem with N64 specifically is that the emulators for N64 are very problematic. They can't translate the game to a digital format easily.
Right.
So that's why there's, been a demand for something like this for a while. And I think it's a better idea than the like any.
Sorry to itch.
Just like they're punching yourself in the nuts or something. I don't know. So I think it's a better idea than like the NES Classic, the SNES Classic, where it came like preloaded.
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah.
With like 20 games.
It was like 20. It was like 10 decent games, and then like 50 games that you'll never fucking play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like that where, really it's basically what it is. It's a peripheral, which is why I don't think Nintendo can do anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like those like knockoff controllers you could get at like GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You could use it for your PlayStation, but it wasn't a Sony.
Right.
Yeah.
You're still compatible with it.
Right.
Compatible but not licensed.
Right.
Yeah.
And this basically all you're doing is plugging in your cartridge.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's playing it on your TV.
Which you already bought from Nintendo, so they shouldn't care.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't see why Nintendo would have any problems with this, but then again, Nintendo torpedoed a project that I was very passionate about that I thought this guy was going to do great things with, and it was basically a remake of Ocarina of Time on the Unreal 5 engine. And it looked fucking amazing. Like it would have blown all of the Souls games out of the water.
Oh, but fuck. Of course.
Can't do anything fun because Nintendo's not about fun.
Fun haters.
Speaking of gaming news, we're getting another video game adaptation on streaming.
Yeah.
Which is for God of War this time. So this has been in the works for a while. The previous people that were working on this, they had like the first season kind of scripted out.
Right.
They had a couple people involved. I think one was from World of Tomorrow, and the other one was from Iron Man.
Oh, really?
Like showrunner wise.
Oh, John Favreau, maybe? Or?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
I see.
John Favreau.
I see.
Like,
yeah.
Anyway, they're no longer involved.
Yeah.
So they're kind of starting over from scratch and everything.
This is exciting. Yeah.
The showrunner,
it's Ronald D. Moore, who he did a little thing called Battlestar Galactica in the early aughts that I think kind of just fizzled out. No one really was a fan of it. I'm kidding. It was a huge hit, obviously. Yeah. He started in Star Trek, The Next Generation, and DS9. So he knows his stuff. And yeah, this is very, very promising.
Honestly, it's a huge upgrade.
Yeah. This is
as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Now, the original concept was this was going to be based off the 2018 reboot series where... So, the main character of God of War, ex-Spartan...
Yeah.
Named Kratos. Mm-hmm. Basically, the original series, he went through Greek mythology and was, like, punishing the gods and, like, taking their power for himself. And the reboot was basically his wife dies, he reconnects with his son, and it's very heavy in, like, Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So the reboot series deals a lot with, like, Midgard, Thor, Odin.
Holy shit, that's cool.
You know, Heimdall.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff. And I don't mean the Marvel characters. They do come from something other than a comic book.
Yeah, they're what Jonah was saying earlier about
public domain.
Yes, yeah.
Well, these are like from mythological creatures and stuff like that. You can't really like trademark those.
Yes,
right.
But not a whole lot of information out on it right now.
Very early, I think. Right? Yeah,
very early in development. But you know, with everything that we've seen from like Fallout, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
You know, not going to mention Halo because Halo sucks.
Don't take the mask off or the helmet.
But I'm very confident. I mean, we're finally getting to a point where video game adaptations don't make everybody just collectively go, "Oh God, no."
Yeah.
Like, it's House of the Dead.
Well, and TV, I think TV better services those.
I think
adaptations.
So too.
I think so too. Yeah. And this
enough
is
time to build up the characters.
This is going to be on Prime.
Yeah, I believe so. Let me look. Actually, I don't have that, but yeah, it's probably.
I think that's kind of been the.
It'll be some streaming.
Well, God of War is a Sony property, and Sony.
So there you go.
Works a lot with Amazon. So
right.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I'll probably. I've never played a single God of War game in my life.
I've just seen the
people are going to say
gameplay.
I'm a fake gamer, but you know, I used to have to blow on my cartridges, so go fuck yourself.
Clueless Gamer. You ever see those? Conan O'Brien. He has it on his channel. He gets together with a celebrity and they play.
Yeah.
He did a God of War with Bill Hader. It was hilarious. They were just like basically the kid, they were saying it's a young Conan, and I think Bill Hader was he's doing voices, of course, with like all these characters. It was great, but yeah, check that out for sure. But yeah, that's all I really know of this whole God of War thing. I actually have the last game. I think I still haven't played it, but I'll get to it eventually.
I have one of them, or did have one of them on PlayStation Plus, and I don't know if it was from the reboot series or not.
Sure.
I do know that the guy's name escapes me at the moment, but the voice actor for Kratos, he's like one of those people with an iconic voice like Keith David. Or,
oh, wow. Yeah.
You know,
very cool.
Somebody like James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. That's just like
very commanding and
amazing.
Yeah. Makes the character.
So I'm excited to see who they're going to potentially cast.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a tough one. Yeah. What did Pinocchio's girlfriend say to him? Lie to me. His nose grows when he lies.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that'd be a hit.
unfortunately, Kratos is like friggin' gigantic.
Yeah,
so,
The Rock.
God, no. He casts The Rock, I will.
No, I'd have to be like Jason Momoa or something.
Yeah, I know.
I would have suggested Dave Bautista, but I know he's trying to get away from those roles where he has to like eat his weight in protein every day.
Yeah.
Somebody like who's the guy that plays Jack Reacher?
Oh Jesus, yeah. Richmond?
Yeah. Alex Rich. I know.
Like somebody like that that's just looks like chiseled from stone. And I mean, you could do it CGI.
Yeah.
But I don't want Kratos to look like the Hulk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you see Titans? Because Richmond was he was a superhero in that. And
the thing about the character,
awesome.
he does have a very much Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to him.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like his like silhouette. He's bald. He's got the kind of the makeup or the face paint. So I know you said like Batista's trying to get away from that, but
yeah. Well,
Henry Cavill.
He's slimmed down. Cavill, he would be good. I just
He's got to be a little old though, right?
I fear that he'd get too invested into it. I mean, look what happened with The Witcher.
Oh yeah,
and he kind of got his heart broken on that a little bit.
Yeah, everything he's done, he gets his heart broken. Poor guy. We kind of do too. Yeah,
but yeah, it would have to be somebody like that has like a very commanding presence.
Yeah,
and it has to be somebody that could do the voice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess they can always. That's always so lame, though.
ADR the voice.
Yeah, but that's always so lame, though. Like I don't want it to be Hercules in New York.
Yeah, right.
You know, because that just if the voice doesn't match up with the lips moving, it bugs the hell out of me.
Well, hell, get the guy who played Halo. He's great. He's Schreiber. He's Lee Schreiber's half brother. He could do it. I mean, shit, he needs something else.
You know,
shave him and all that.
If he could...
There's got to be another Hemsworth brother that we haven't discovered yet.
If he could nail the...
He's got children.
Because he's got a very thick, like, accent.
Yeah.
But if he could nail the voice of Kratos, the guy who played the Mountain in...
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. He's like... literally his name is like Thor something.
Yeah, that dude's huge.
But he has the stature for it. I just don't know that like he can play like somebody with speaking parts.
Who played in the last Hercules movie?
Oh, that was The Rock, wasn't it?
No, I thought there was a live action.
He did a live action.
Maybe it wasn't
Hercules.
the last one. There was a Hercules movie that had a guy in it that...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it escapes me. Shit. I don't know. The guy who played Ivan Drago's son is good at... He would be good, too. Is this guy old, though? The father? He's kind of old, though, right?
He's a little older, yeah.
Yeah, but you could cast younger and make him look older.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Especially with a bald head and makeup on the eye and stuff and beard.
Yeah, he is very Drax-like, but he also has like a really full beard.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily...
What about the guy that was in Vikings, that played that lead in Vikings for the first few seasons?
Ooh.
I think he could probably be good.
Yeah.
I think he's got the stature for it. I don't know how tall he is.
Right. Still.
But he's got the stature for it. He's got the...
Yeah.
He can grow the beard.
Yeah.
He can do the bald head.
You know, the person that would be playing Atreus, you have a little more wiggle room with.
Yeah.
I think because he's a skinny ass kid.
Yeah.
Like he's just, but he's like half the height of Kratos.
Right.
So unless you like put Tom Cruise in lifts or something like that, you're going to need somebody that's got like some height and some presence to him.
No,
right.
It'll probably be like one of the kids from Stranger Things, or
it'll be Finn Wolfhard in
I was just gonna say
a muscle suit like they did with Zachary Levi.
Oh my god, that's funny. So
stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, hey, I think it'll be great. So Jonah, you're up with your topics. Comic related.
So some comic book related stuff. Alan Moore hates the comic book fandom.
Shocking.
Right. He says that
he never complains.
The fandom has become a grotesque blight on society.
Us? No.
Yeah, right. And what's funny is I don't think it's I mean, I mentioned earlier about like kind of toxic fandom, and I think every fandom's got its toxic components.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm fans of a lot of shit. Like Transformer fans can be toxic. G.I. Joe fans can be toxic. Star Wars fans can be toxic. Yeah. And I think the issue is kind of like what we were talking about with when you introduce, or not introduce, but when you take these characters that people feel these emotional connections to, and then you change it, they revolt against it.
Yeah.
And that's why you now have like 6 different Spider-Mans running around the Marvel universe. And so I don't disagree with him, but I think I think it's one of those like
you got to do a change up every once in a while to kind of keep it fresh.
And there's ways that you can do it where it's organic or it's not as I think people feel less betrayed depending on how it's done.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, a lot of the times when I see things switched up, I just don't think it's done well. He said, "Let me make my position clear." This is a quote. "I believe that fandom is a wonderful and vital organ of contemporary culture, without which that culture ultimately stagnates, atrophies, and dies. At the same time, I'm sure that fandom is something, a grotesque blight that poisons the society surrounding it with its mean-spirited obsessions and ridiculous unearned sense of entitlement." Again, I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah.
No, he's not wrong.
No,
he's not wrong in any way. The fact that it actually makes news is kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
And for viewers who might not know who Alan Moore is, he's a comic book writer. He wrote Watchmen, From Hell,
V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta. Yep. He created The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and a handful of other things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a solid writer. But I don't think he's wrong. I just don't know that there's an easy solution to it. I think fans are gonna revolt if they want the same thing over and over again. It seems, which is why you look at take G.I. Joe for an example. You had your O-ring G.I. Joes that I'm really much into back in the day, and fans who grew up with that now. With the new G.I. Joe line called Classified, it's essentially the exact same things, but they're just a little bit bigger and a little bit, better moving parts and more accessories, but it's the exact same designs.
Yeah.
And if you start to change up those designs too much, then fans are going to start to shit on it. I think comic books is very much the same way. You start to change something too much. And one thing too that I don't know that he's necessarily, and maybe he is taking it into consideration. I don't think it's not all on the fans, because what I think that with comic book companies, especially the major publishers, those that are the Supermans, the Batmans, the Spider-Mans, the Wolverines, it's so much less about telling a story than it is marketing.
Yeah.
And this is why you have a new Wolverine #1, which that episode just released. On Wednesday of this last week. Yeah. That's why you have a new Wolverine #1 out, because Wolverine is in a movie right now, a blockbuster movie right now. The same thing's going to happen when the next Marvel thing that comes out. You're going to have a comic book that's going to market to that.
Yeah.
Because they're going to try and cross over. So it's not as much about storytelling, and this is why nothing sticks. This is why they say no one stays dead, right?
Yeah.
Is because you can kill off a character, but they're going to come back because all they're doing is marketing that character, and it's hard to market that character when they're dead. Mm-hmm. So, or when they change them too much from the original concept that people had bought into 60 years ago.
What was the original? I forget who made this quote or who said it or whatever, but I think the original outline at Marvel was the only 2 people who are absolutely going to stay dead are Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy. Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Right. Well, it used to be Bucky and Uncle Ben, but then they brought Bucky back as Winter Soldier.
Jason Todd and Uncle Ben.
And Jason Todd came back. I mean, it would.
Gwen Stacy's been brought back a couple times.
Yeah, there's different versions of her running around right now.
Yeah,
very cool.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
That's neat.
M-Day.
Yeah,
another one. The more you get into the multiverse stuff and all that.
I mean, at this point, I think the only person that can stay dead is Uncle Ben. But
poor Uncle Ben.
I would not be surprised if they brought him back at some point.
I wouldn't
because
mind
it is
seeing it like a
comics.
Flashpoint Spider-Man where Uncle Ben
That'd be cool.
took over as like an older Spider-Man.
Peter got killed instead of
Totally
Uncle
kidding.
Ben.
Don't do that.
So yeah, again, Alan Moore is not wrong.
No.
He's not wrong.
I just don't think there's a. I think that saying that they're a blight on society is a bit of an over exaggeration. I think he's giving comic book fans way too much credit there because I think it's such a small subgroup of pop culture. And here's the thing: is as much as uproar as comic book fans tend to put up, like when the Marvels comes out and all the fans shit on it. Mm-hmm. It's not like Disney's learned their lesson. They're still doing stupid shit like that. They're still coming out with Ironheart and other things that no one's asking for.
Right.
With Star Wars fans, they're still doing, they did the Acolyte that no one asked for and or liked. They learned their lesson there and they shit canned the second season.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're not going to continue to do that. They're still going to continue to try and find new ways to introduce new ideas.
Yeah.
I just think that it's hard to do that with this, with any fan group.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, it goes clear back to Batman and Robin, right? Introducing Robin. That was a big deal. And then they had Batgirl and Superman. Every hero's had many versions of it,
Well, think of how many different versions of Superman there had been just in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
From when he died and when he came back, how he looked then. And then, mid-90s when he splits off into two versions, electric red and electric blue.
Yeah.
And then he comes back together in one version. And and now we've got kind of a segue. We've got this absolute universe that's starting.
Yeah.
Which we can talk a little bit about that. So they started it with Batman, with Absolute Batman. Have you read that yet? That I gave to you last week?
I haven't yet.
I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts on it.
That's
I've got my thoughts.
Yeah, that looks. I've heard good things about that. And he's got that symbol. It's very strange. It's cool, but it's not really a bat anymore.
It's not. Well, that's because he can actually. I mean, spoiler.
Okay.
He can take it off of his. He does it in the first issue. He takes it off of his chest, and it's an axe.
Oh shit!
So
really?
it's like a battle axe that he just wears on his chest.
Damn. Okay.
So there's some
that
cool
makes
things.
sense.
So
yeah.
The DC's launch, and this is partly, again, the two big companies tend to mirror each other sometimes. Like you go back to when Marvel killed Captain America, DC killed Batman, but they were actually both lost in time, and so the two universes have a tendency to mirror each other.
Right.
Marvel has relaunched their Ultimate Universe again, and which I haven't read any of it. I don't have any interest in it. DC has launched this Absolute Universe, which is sort of the Ultimates equivalent on the DC side. And the idea behind it, sort of tying it into, DC's sort of overarching multi-universal continuity, it's basically this Earth Alpha, where the Absolute stories take place, has been reshaped by Darkseid's essence. Darkseid is like the Thanos of the DC universe. Well, I guess if you guys watch Justice League, you know who he is, right? Darkseid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Snyder cut, that is.
Yes. And so it's this universe that is basically created by the essence of Darkseid. He's created this world where now the superheroes are the small chaos versus sort of the godly beings that they were in the regular DC universe.
Okay.
And so your Batman is not rich. He's a working class guy. He doesn't have the Batman, or he doesn't have the all the gadgets and the toys. He has his different kinds of gadgets and toys, which is cool to see. Wonder Woman is an Amazon who was raised in hell, and she's more of a witch than anything else. And Superman, Absolute Superman, just came out this week. I picked it up. I haven't read it yet.
He's got long hair, doesn't he?
I haven't. I don't.
Okay, I think I've seen the image.
Probably he looks much different.
Looked like when he came back from the dead.
Yeah, there's like a different. So all the characters are similar, but they're a little bit different.
Yeah.
And this is how you're going to get fans on board with these types of changes.
Yeah. Is
you introduce them sort of in a vacuum outside of the regular universe, and then at some point, knowing DC, they'll mash it all together, and you'll have your absolute Superman existing with your regular Superman in the same universe. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. It's happened more than once. Like we were saying, it's the same thing that the Ultimates did with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With Miles Morales, they introduced him. Fans loved him, so they brought him in. They destroyed that Ultimates universe and brought him into the regular Marvel universe. And so there's it's interesting to kind of see where this goes. I don't know how many of these issues I'm going to be on board for. I'm definitely going to give at least the first, 6 of each. Probably try. I did not pick up the Wonder Woman one. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan. But just based on what I heard about it, I might go back and try to find that first issue.
Yeah. Is it just the Trinity they've released?
What's that?
With these new comics, is just the Trinity they've released? The 3 of them?
So far, but you are going to have you are going to have a Justice League. You are going to have Green Lantern, Green Arrow. I know there's other ones that are coming.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited to see them. I really liked most of when Marvel's did the Ultimates originally, back in the mid 2000s. I really liked a lot of that. I liked the actual Ultimates title because if you think about it, that's what gave way to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that we see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is largely based on the Ultimates.
Yep, Nick Fury
universe. Yeah, even down to Nick Fury being played by Samuel L. Jackson. And so I really liked that. And then you get later into it, and it really started to get pretty terrible. And I didn't follow every title, but just, some of the big ones. So we'll see how long this goes before, the nice thing is right now, all of these stories kind of exist on their own where, Batman's not crossing over with Superman, at least not yet. We'll see what happens when they start to get to that. And if it still kind of maintains its, for lack of a better word, it's like Elseworlds style feel, which I actually enjoy with this. So we'll see.
Yeah. Nice.
My reviews on Batman, we'll talk about it when we record that episode.
Yeah,
they're mixed, but I definitely want to see more. So
cool, awesome. What do you call an expert fisherman?
A masturbator.
Yes, candy for you.
And then the last thing too is Hush Part 2 coming out. So Hush was a Batman storyline. Drawn by the amazing Jim Lee, written by the Jeff Loeb. I'm not a Jeff Loeb fan. I mentioned that when we recorded the Wolverine episode. He wrote the absolute worst Wolverine story I'd ever read. He actually is the one that ruined my interest in the Marvel and the Ultimates universe with his garbage that he was writing over there. But his Superman for All Seasons was good. His Batman stories have been good. Like The Long Halloween, I think, is an excellent story.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic, right?
It is. That's a Jeff Loeb story. So give the guy credit. He wrote Commando. So give the guy credit where credit is due.
Commentary out there. Check it out.
And so Hush 2's coming. Jeff Loeb again. Jim Lee. I'm hesitant because it's Jeff Loeb, but it's Batman and it's Jim Lee, so I'll probably still check it out.
Reviews, recommendations, guys. So I think I recommended this last time. The Penguin. Maybe it just started last time, but we're episode 7, I think, out of 8.
Are we really? I've only seen one episode.
Yeah.
You said it was getting ready to conclude, right?
Yep.
The last episode's getting ready to come out.
Nice.
Yep. Next, this Sunday. So HBO Max. Definitely check it out.
I need to check that out.
I might watch an episode or two tonight.
You'll like it. They have the best cliffhangers. And yeah, if you don't have HBO Max, I would take it up for 1 month and just binge it because it's amazing. It gets me more excited for the follow up to Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Yeah.
They definitely are. The character development is off the charts with the people. Obviously, the Penguin. In the city of Gotham, they really have developed it. It's really cool. A lot of groundwork being laid here. So can't say enough about it. Colin Farrell is great. It's like Tony Soprano. I hate to make this comparison because it was used as a negative in the beginning, but it is like Tony Soprano in a comic book movie, except there's not a lot, there's side characters, but it's not like The Sopranos. I mean, it's the Penguin, so it's its own thing.
It's
but
not like Gotham.
No,
the Gotham Penguin, where he
no
started off as a lackey.
Well, kind of, but I mean, I think we all get the gist of this Penguin from just seeing the Batman. It just further develops it. It's basically, jumps off where the Batman ended. Kristen Milotti, I think that's her name. She is amazing. I don't want to give too much away, but she kind of steals the show, even though Colin Farrell is great in it. Her character is excellent. She's a rising star from this show. But yeah, she's very good. Clancy Brown has gotten a lot of airtime in this show.
Love Clancy Brown.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see him come up on into a new project. So hopefully.
I'm sorry.
No, go.
I have to say this really quick.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me that a man like Clancy Brown can command such a presence and still be the guy who voices Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, that's right. Did you ever see when they did the SpongeBob live action, but they weren't? Yeah, that's crazy. That's pretty cool. But yeah, obviously he's Lex Luthor too, and he was great Lex Luthor. The voice, it was perfect. That's how they did that. Lex Luthor is like, that's my ideal at Lex Luthor. He's like a
somebody that's like confident.
Yeah, he's like remember Tony? What's I'm gonna butcher this. He was Kojak back in the day. Tony had bald head.
Telly Savalas.
Yes, thank you. Yes, he kind of embodied that the look anyway. Mm-hmm. And if you watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service, that's a recommendation. That was a George Lazenby as Bond film, and Tony was the villain in that, Blofeld, and how he commands the everything. It's just kind of like Lex Luthor in the animated version, of course. But Clancy Brown's amazing. I got a kick out of when he even though I got annoyed with the Goldbergs doing these callbacks, like I kept thinking like, wait a minute, they're going all over the 80s. It's like, it's not, canonical. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, they did a cool Highlander thing. I don't know if you've seen the Goldbergs, but they were talking about some kind of fight or something, and he's a teacher in it. And he was like, there can only be one. And then it was just, he had to go check it out. But it was cool to see him. But he's one of those, like, he's always a villain. And when he's a good guy, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's really comforting. It's kind of like, the dude from that 70s show. God, what's his face? I don't know. But yeah. Anyway.
Foreman.
Yeah, but the actor escapes me right now. God, this is terrible. But yeah, Clancy Brown was super creepy in Pet Sematary too. Do you remember that?
Yeah. And he was also in Carnival, that HBO series.
Oh, okay. I never seen it.
He was good in that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, the Penguin, I can't recommend it enough. You got to go check it out. Like I said, if you don't have HBO Max, just wait another week and then subscribe and go crazy, because it'll get you really pumped for the Batman. And I hope James Gunn allows Matt Reeves to continue doing this, even though they'll be labeled Elseworlds, which is fine. I don't care. It's just cool. Like, I don't think you're gonna get this more in-depth take on a character or characters from this universe of Matt Reeves, but definitely worth checking out. So, any other?
I do have a recommendation related to Batman.
Yeah, go
Since
for it.
We're on the topic of Batman.
What's green and smells like pork? Kermit's finger.
Oh, Miss Piggy. Oh, Miss Piggy. I recently found a podcast on YouTube called Batman the Animated Series Podcast. The episode I watched was, so every episode they're like discussing, they're either talking with different voice actors or they're discussing different episodes of the animated series.
Yeah.
One I watched was on the Man Who Killed Batman. The episode The Man Who Killed Batman. And Paul Dini is actually a guest on the podcast.
Nice.
That's cool.
So it was really cool to hear his behind the scenes sort of things, like his experiences working with Arlene Sorkin and
that's cool.
Stuff like that. Just different things they do during the episode. Really cool. So I very, very much recommend checking that out.
Nice.
Awesome. Now, is that just audio or do they actually have video?
It is video on YouTube.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
not sure if they do like I don't know enough about it to know if they do like an audio only version. I'm pretty sure they they do because they're on every platform.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend going and checking that out. They also do some clips where they do commentary over the shots from the animated series and like make their own little like funny comments on it and stuff like that. So it's
like Mystery Science Theater 3000. It
if you're a fan of the Batman animated series, which how can you not be?
Yeah,
still the best animated series ever.
Right.
Yeah, that reminds me another recommendation. We can go back. Obviously, if you got more. But I bought the Mask of the Phantasm on 4K.
Oh my God!
So this coming weekend, I'm sitting down with my brother and we're going to watch it. I've waited for him to for us to see it together. So I'm thrilled. I'm like, it should be pretty cool. So
I love that movie.
Yeah.
How can you not enjoy the combination of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill?
Yeah. What sucks is we still have the movie, obviously. It came out in theaters right when the animated series was like really hitting with people. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like a unusual move for the studio to like greenlight this and allow it to come to the theater because it did bomb badly, but what a great film. Like it's awesome.
Even pushed the envelope just a tiny bit.
It was dark. Yeah.
I think that it bombed, but it's one of those that it's had legs where it's kind of maintained its popularity over the years. And,
yes.
So yeah, it was. I think the reason it bombed is because one, it was animated.
Yeah.
And two, it wasn't a kids movie.
Right.
It was like an animated movie, but it wasn't a kids movie.
It was dark. Yeah.
And so, you had gangsters getting killed off right in the opening sequence.
Did not shy away from that at all.
Of course, if you're a kid and you're watching the Batman animated series at home and you see, oh Mom, look, they're showing Batman in the theater. Of course, you're going to bug your parents to go take you to see it.
Right. I remember seeing the preview to it in the theater, and I've grown to love this film more, Batman Returns, over the years, but that was such a disappointment to me at that time. And I was like, oh, this is our third Batman movie? It's like animated movie? Like, okay, that's interesting.
See, I loved Batman Returns, so...
Yeah, I don't know. Over time, I've appreciated it more, but I still like the first one. I don't know. It was more kind of in line to me with what the character was, and the second one was more of like a Burton presents. Have
you read the new Batman book that just came out?
No, I've heard about it.
I haven't picked it up yet. I need to do that. I need to order it. So it is the sequel to the 1989 Batman movie.
Oh, nice.
It's probably like the first draft or the original writer because they got rid of.
I don't know. There was a podcast I was listening to where they interviewed the writer.
Oh, sweet. What's it? Do you remember what it's called? I'll put it right.
The
here.
book or
the book. It's Batman.
Batman 89.
No, it's like
that was the comic. I didn't.
It's like Batman
that.
Resurrected.
Oh yeah. Hardback. If
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the best. That is on my list. I need to get that.
I really want to get that and read that.
Yeah, I liked the world so much in the first one and the look, and I still that bat suits.
The big like skyscrapers, like the Gothic architecture, and
if the second one felt very soundstage, like it was
the first
small,
one was very Tim Burton-y.
Yeah,
but I always liked the production of it. It was like a theater production.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But I do appreciate Returns. But any other reviews, recommendations?
I'm trying to think of what I saw recently. I saw Smile 2.
Okay,
that was terrifying.
Yeah. Did you like the first one?
I loved the first one.
Was this as good or better?
This one was as good, if not maybe a little better.
Nice, because the production itself looked amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. If you liked the first one, watch this one. It's super creepy.
Can they go somewhere else in the third one, or should it die?
Oh, dude. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
Based on the ending of the first one, the sky's the limit. Or I guess the ending of the second one here, the sky is the limit as far as what they can do with it.
Sweet.
Have you seen the first one?
I haven't, but I think I know how it ends. Yeah.
Well, watch it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And then watch the second one.
My daughter's terrified of the trailer for the first one. Yeah. So, funny story. I went and saw it Saturday night. Great film. That's about
is that out now?
Yes.
I want to see that.
It was in a smaller theater by the time I got to it.
Yeah.
Awesome movie. I loved it.
didn't even know that had come out yet.
Yeah, it was quiet, but I really enjoyed it. It's a review I plan on doing still. But yeah, it really captured. I mean, it's not exactly like 100%. It's just like all these based on true stories. They have to like mesh it up.
Dramatize it a little bit.
Yeah. But after the movie, they had free Smile 2 posters.
I got 2 of them. I got one of each.
I got one and I put it in my daughter's room because
nice.
She can't even watch the trailers to that first one. She just
so that was one of the
out.
mistakes that the first movie made.
Yeah.
Is one of the scariest scenes is in the trailer.
Okay.
The part where she's in the car and the woman comes out and the head drops
That's
down.
how they end the trailer, I think, too, right?
So that scene is freaky in the trailer.
Yeah.
And so when you see it in the movie, it's not as scary, right? Because you've already seen it 6 or 7 times.
Right. They ruined it. Yeah.
With
that
the
was
second one, they learned
you.
their lesson and they didn't. The scariest parts of the second one were not in the trailer.
Oh, nice. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson's son's in that. I know that.
Yeah, and he looks just like Jack.
They do.
Nicholson.
Yeah, he's featured on one of the posters with a smile.
He's on like the big movie poster.
Yeah.
He's a spitting image of his dad.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I've seen that I can think of that's worth noting right now. I'm just going back and watching. I'm watching Titans on Max.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, speaking of Alan Rickman, he plays Hawk of Hawk and Dove.
Yep.
In that series.
Yep.
So I'm going back and watching that right now. That's about it.
Nice. Yeah, he would be a great Batman. They've talked about him.
He said he's wanted to play Batman.
Yeah.
And he could be a Batman like what we see in the absolute Batman, because that Batman, he's like fucking 6'5". I mean, the Batman is big.
Yeah.
And Alan Rickman would be that big Batman.
Yeah, he's a brick shit house, man. He's fucking huge. Like, I don't get it. He got even bigger from Titans for Reacher.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he's not as big in Titans as he is.
No, but he's still built though. Like,
yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta finish Titans. But anything else you like to recommend? Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll go straight into plugs, guys. You like video games? Not too serious.
Billy Creston Gaming on YouTube. I've got 2 projects in the works right now. One is gameplay footage. The other one is a rant episode.
Cool. I like those. Yeah.
So I'll be working on those here shortly. Of course, you can find us YouTube at Billy Creston, Facebook.com/Billy Creston Gaming. Also busy with another project that I've been working on with this guy right here.
Yeah.
It's been keeping us busy lately. A surefire place you can always find the #1 comics podcast is right here on the Field of Geeks channel on YouTube.
Brother.
Yeah. So it's the #1 comics podcast. It is a podcast dedicated only to first issues, where we take a look at first issues from all really, it's been a lot of superhero stuff, but there's other genres we can tap into. If it's a comic book, if it's got a first issue, we'll probably talk about it at some point. Comes out every week. We don't record weekly; we record monthly, but that gives us a little bit of inventory to allow Josh to do the editing.
It's great,
add in all the pretty pictures. So
every Wednesday, just when new comics come out.
Yep. So a new episode drops each Wednesday. We just finished our first month, and really we kind of entered the second month, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about Wolverine #1, which is a new title that just dropped. We've also are going to be talking about Solo. Yeah, next month or the next recording we're going to do, we got some fun stuff to talk about too, like Silver Sable and the Wild Pack.
Hey, I'm getting education from it all, so it's
you just kind of like sit back in the chair and like chuckle occasionally, and
it's tough. I want to chime in sometimes.
Right now, ones he's going to have to go to Jay's and trying to find a copy of.
Sleepwalker.
That's my next thing. Is I gotta get Jay's on as a sponsor since I bought my books from him anyway.
You know what? If I get this, whatever the fucking console thing I was just talking about, I'm gonna have to go to Jay's anyway to get some cartridges.
There you go.
Because I don't have my collection of N64 games anymore. All right, sponsor us, Jay.
Yes, and like you said, Field of Geeks. We're everywhere you can imagine. YouTube. We're there on video. Just released a few Old stuff. Well, we did like a couple years back for the Super Unknown, which is another show we do. Talked about some Halloween crimes. The Pixie Sticks Killer. Let's check that out.
I just not from what you posted, but I just found out what that story was.
Yeah.
And then I saw that you posted it on there.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
is
saw
the algorithm messing with me, or
I saw an urban legends thing on that.
It's very real.
I know. Yeah, it's the whole thing
It's
that
fucking brutal. Really, it is. But yeah, check that out. It's very short,
Also,
but definitely check it out. Yeah.
if you like the music you hear in the intro of both the Field of Geeks podcast and the Number One Comics podcast, make sure to check out Raven Xavier. He has the Ravex podcast on YouTube. Also, you can check out his music as well as his band Choose Your Power. You can find him on YouTube at Ravex Music or at ravexmusic.bandcamp.com, where you can download all of his music and podcast episodes.
Yes. Yeah. Huge friend of the show. Always comments, likes our posts. It's great. And,
he's our number. I will say he's our number one fan.
Yeah. Pretty
aside
much,
from my mom.
Step it up, Raven. He is wrong about Ben Affleck
Aunt Nancy,
being the best
right?
Batman.
He's wrong about what?
Ben Affleck being the best Batman.
Oh, I kind of agree with him. I don't know. I definitely think he's the costume is the best. But I
am a sucker for the Dark Knight Returns, though. So
yeah,
like the comic, The Dark Knight.
Oh,
Returns.
sure, yeah,
So that's what the Batfleck
might be. Keaton for me. Affleck, Kilmer for the live action, maybe.
You didn't even name Clooney.
Affleck's in my top 3.
Oh,
he's
God.
at number 3, but he's in my top 3.
Yes.
Yeah, Keaton's still my number 1.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
Keaton, always.
Followed by Adam West.
There you go.
That's Kevin Conroy for me.
Oh, I was talking live action only.
Oh, okay. Well,
because if we're doing that, then Conroy's number
live
1.
action only.
Oh, yeah.
Adam
of course.
West,
you have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We could have a whole other episode on just Batman.
We could.
And who's
very
the best
tempting?
Batman? Michael Keaton.
Me. Oh, yeah, Michael Keaton. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, with that said, we will be back. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween. This is late, obviously.
Yes,
but,
and if you are a veteran, happy Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You should have that day off.
I do have that day off.
Do you? Did you have to get it?
I had to do some things that I am not proud of, Josh.
Anyway, with that said, I'm Josh.
I'm Hellboy.
I'm Sam.
Sam I am.
Sam I am.
Take care.
Peace.